Hello my dolls, hope everyone had a great weekend. Today's tutorial is going to be on this classic gold cut crease that I really adore for any night out. I really hope that you guys enjoy it, and let's get started. As per usual, we're going to begin by priming our lids. I am using my favorite eyeshadow base, which is MAC's Paint Pot in the colors of ochre. And we're going to make sure that we blend that really nicely. And then I'm taking a soft peach eyeshadow, that is actually the name. Just a very natural nude eyeshadow will do, and we're going to be blending that all over the lid in no particular way, very random, just to set the eyeshadow so it can help us with the blending of the other shadows. Next, I'm taking Morocco, also by Anastasia, and the brush that I'm using is the M330 by Morphe, which is a big blending eyeshadow brush, and we're going to be applying that in a windshield swiper motion into the upper crease. And make sure you use little circular motions as well so that it can be nicely blended. And then as you can see, I flipped the brush a little bit just to give it a little tail at the end, so just bring it out. And then I'm taking Fudge, also by Anastasia, from the same palette. It's the Shadow Couture palette, and with this shadow we're going to begin marking our crease. The brush that I'm using is a little angled shader brush by Sigma, and we're just going to make sure that we apply it right on the crease, and then we blend it with the same blending brush, which again is the M330 by Morphe. And then if you want the cut crease to be a little bit more cut and precise, just use a flat shader brush and just draw where you want your crease to be. And then again, we go back in and blend some more. You can repeat these steps as many times as you like. Go in with a flat shader brush and define your crease, and then you go ahead and blend it as many times as you like until you get the gradient and blended effect that we're looking for. And as you can see, I went ahead and blended my shadow towards the end of my eyebrow to elongate my eyes. But if you want the look to be a little bit more rounded, you can go ahead and do so. This is up to your taste. But blend until your hands are tired of blending. For the lower lash line, I'm using the same colors. I'm first blending out Morocco, and then to define it a little bit more, I'm taking a flat definer brush and then pretty much like lining it using Fudge. For the lower lash line, I chose a brown liner. I cannot recall the name of this one, but it's by MAC. But you can totally use black if you want to. I just didn't want it to be too intense, but that is completely up to you. And then I'm going to be using this MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour eyeshadow base. And with this, I'm going to use it to clean out my lid space and cut that crease some more. So I'm using a concealer brush to be very precise, and then over it we're going to be applying this gorgeous shadow that I really adore, and it's like a golden shadow. It's by ColourPop in the color Telescopy, I think it is. I will leave the name in the description box, but it's gorgeous. So using the same brush, I'm going to be packing it all over the lid and being very careful when I get near my crease, because I want to make sure that that cut crease is really nice and sharp. Now I'm taking Chic from the same Anastasia palette. This is the Shadow Couture palette, and using a pencil brush by Zoeva, I'm going to be applying this in the inner corners of the eyes as a really nice highlight. It's really one of my favorite highlighting shades. I don't know why. It's like a kind of like a silvery champagne-y shadow. It's gorgeous. And then I'm using the blending brush just to go around it to make sure that it's blended with my other shadows. And then we're going to be lining our eyes. I'm going to be creating a pretty dramatic wing liner like I normally love, but this is again completely up to you. I am using Inglater's 77 gel liner, which is a very dark matte liner, and I'm creating my wing. If you want to see a tutorial on it, I have one, and I could leave it in the description box. I kind of messed up on one eye, so I'm using a little bit of concealer to fix that. And again, I have all those tricks in my video, so I will be leaving it down below, so make sure to check it out if you want to master the wing liner. Then I'm going to be applying some mascara. I am using Telescopic by Maybelline, which is one of my favorite mascaras from all times. And then for lashes, I'm using these by House of Lashes in the style Iconic. I really think they go with this look. I really like them. Anytime that I'm wearing a wing liner, I really want to wear these, and I have to like force myself to wear another pair. But yeah, that's what I was wearing. And then I went ahead and applied some more mascara to my bottom lashes and just the smallest amount to my top lashes, just to mix them with my falsies. And then I'm going over the liner one more time to cover up any glue. And then I used the shadow Vanilla to highlight my brow bone. I really like this shadow because it's not super over the board. It's very subtle for the brow bone. Now I took a little bit of the black eyeshadow from that palette, and with a detail brush by Zoeva, I'm just defining that crease and cutting it some more. So as you can see, I applied it to the outer edges, and then I went ahead and very carefully blended that into the crease. And then of course I went back in with a blending brush and just a tiny bit of Morocco just to blend out the edges, and that pretty much completes the eye makeup. So I already did my foundation off camera. If you want to see my flawless foundation routine, I have a video and I will leave you the link down below. It's pretty up to date, so make sure to check that out. And then for blush, I am using Milani's Luminoso, which is my favorite blush from the drugstore. I think it's definitely one of my favorite blushes of all time, especially for summer and spring. It's just gorgeous. And then to get a little bit of glow on my cheeks, I'm going to be using That Glow Kit by Anastasia. I used the shade Dripping Gold and I applied it to the highest points of my cheekbone, to the tip of my nose, and my cupid's bow. Next, I'm going to be moisturizing my lips using a little bit of chapstick, and then we're going to take a Snapchat break. If you want to follow me on Snapchat, my username is Glam by Penela, like it is in every other social media. Then now I'm just blending and going over the highlight and the brush and the bronzer, everything, to make sure that it's nice and blended. And then for the lips, I'm using ColourPop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Beeper, which is one of my favorite nudes of all time. I really love this nude. It is so long lasting and it's super comfortable to wear too, which is rare for liquid lipsticks. And that pretty much completes the look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you dare to wear this look. If you do, please tag me on any of your social media. I would love to see you recreate this look. Thank you so much for watching. I really love you all. And I see you guys next time. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Besos. Bye-bye.